Hey, it's Steven. I just want to take a quick moment to tell you how amazing Anchor FM is. When I wanted to start my podcast, it quickly rose to the top of my absolute favorite choices. Number one, it's free, and it has some great creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. Anchor handles all the distribution for your podcast, so you can hear it at places like Spotify, Apple Podcast, and so many more. And you can even make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's really amazing, and it truly has everything you need to launch your own podcast all in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today. Welcome to Mind Your Business. I'm Stephen Meadows, and today I'm kicking off a new monthly series or monthly segment to this series. And some people might call it viewer mail or whatever. I'm calling it burning questions. So I'm going to be taking questions from you, my listeners, or folks that I encounter in my day-to-day job in the real estate industry. And I'm going to be addressing some of these questions. So if you would like to have your questions answered in an episode, you can either email me, or there is going to be a link in the episode notes to a voice message service that you can use connected with the podcast, where you can actually leave an actual voice message with your question. So let me know who you are. You don't have to say your full name. You can just say, I'm, Stephen M, and maybe your location. So I might say I'm Stephen M in Ohio, and tell me your question. And if I choose your question, I will make sure I include your audio clip. And I will also give you a shout out if you email me. So if you want to email it, you can send it to my publishing email, which is info@cmvbooks.com. That's cmvbooks.com. Info@. I will also put that in the episode notes as well. So I'm going to be doing this every third Tuesday of the month, starting this month. So welcome to the first edition of Burning Questions. So this is the May 2021 edition of Burning Questions. So let's just dive right in. The first question comes from Sarah in Omaha, Nebraska. I have been in real estate for almost a year, and after closing 6 deals, decided to get a coach. She suggested that I start to build my team soon. What's a good way to start? Well, as some of you know, I have opinions about this matter. In fact, recently on a Facebook group, I think it was probably Lab Code Agents or Mastermind, I don't remember which one it was, somebody asked, what's something that every agent thinks they need but actually don't? And I was feeling especially feisty that day, and I said, coaches, or a team, or a coach that tells them they need a team. I am a coach, which some of you know. And I also was on a team. So I know a little bit about both of those. So I will try to keep my snarkiness to a minimum. I'm not here to say teams are bad. I think there's a time and a place for a team. I think a team is a natural progression of a successful agent. I don't dislike coaches. I mean, I am one myself. However, I think there's a big difference, and I did a whole hidden gem about this one. You can go back and look at it. It's, do you really need a coach? And, because I think a lot of people mistake what a coach does. A real true coach doesn't suggest things like that. A coach is there to help you reach conclusions that you pretty much already knew on your own. Most real estate coaches, unfortunately, are pay me lots of money and use my system. That's really more of a consultant, not a coach, but let's not get into that. So Sarah, first of all, this might sound a little blunt. After 6 deals, I'm surprised you can even afford a coach. Maybe you have other sources of income, but it's too bad that you don't feel like you can get the support from your brokerage and you feel like you need to go outside of that this early in the game. Now, I know a lot of agents who are veterans who go outside and get coaches because they know very specifically my brokerage doesn't have something that's going to necessarily address my specific concerns. But when I hear an agent getting a coach their first year in the business, especially after doing about 6 deals, which there's nothing wrong with 6 deals. That's perfectly respectable. But that sends up a red flag to me that you're not getting the kind of support and training that you need in your brokerage. That aside, though, you don't need a team right now. So, first of all, 6 deals is not enough to support a team. It's not even enough to support an assistant. So, in my opinion, the natural progression is usually something like this. Like you do business until you reach a point where you can't physically do more business by yourself. Then you get an assistant, and that assistant will take on some of the menial tasks, some of the minutia that bog you down. Then once you become sort of a rainmaker, then you get a buyer's agent. Maybe that's your assistant, maybe that's another person. And then you start to build a team from there. That is kind of the structure of the team. But you don't even have enough business to feed your own family right now. So how are you going to feed other people's families? That's the big question. I've had some of my agents ask me that question. And, like, well, I'm thinking about building a team. And my question is, did you make the kind of money last year that you're happy with? Well, no, I would like to have made more money. Great. Do you feel like you were at your full potential? No. Okay, then you don't need a team yet. You're not even making enough money to support yourself or to be happy with your own income. And you're talking about giving somebody else some of your income. Everyone thinks having a team is super sexy because it's, we get to all, throw our business together. There's so many teams out there that I've seen that the team leader actually makes less than they would if they just did the business themselves. They could do less business and make more money not having the headache of a team. So, Sarah, I don't think right now is the time to be thinking about a team. I think you'll be wasting valuable time working on a team structure that you could be using to actually prospect your own business. So I would not go that route currently. The next question comes from Kathy in Columbia, Tennessee. Hey, I used to live in Columbia. I have written offers for a set of buyers on 9 houses, and we lose every time. They never take my advice and are beginning to blame me. I'm getting tired of wasting my time, but I have invested so much into them already. What should I do? So I've seen this so many different times in the industry, or in my career. My first gut reaction is fire them. Fire your clients. And yes, it's okay. You can do that. You're allowed. It's your business. You incorporated. But I get the sentiment of I've invested so much in them already. I've shown them all these houses. I've run them around and da 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 da. To me, that mindset is the same person that sits at a slot machine and keeps plunking money into it, even though they're losing. I know if I just sit here and hit the button or pull the lever enough times, I'll eventually get my money back. How do you think Vegas was built? Every casino loves people like that because those are the ones that don't know when to cut their losses. So the bigger question, though, is why aren't they trusting you? Is it a problem on your side? Did you give them some reason to doubt your abilities, or are they just difficult people? I've talked a little bit about the takeaway sale, and I intend to do a longer episode on that. But sometimes you have to pretend, or you have to be willing to fire them, because if they call your bluff, you're not, you need to be okay with walking away. But sometimes you just need to say, you know what, I just don't think that my services are really working for you. I don't think this is what you need. I think it's best if we go our separate ways. Or refer them to somebody else. Obviously, my advice is not resonating with you, and you, for some reason, don't feel that I am giving you the best advice. So let's just go ahead and either split up, score separate ways, or let me find someone else to work with you, because I feel like maybe I'm not giving you what you need. So those are my suggestions. Not knowing more about the situation, that's probably what I would do, as it might just be time to cut your losses and move on. The next one is from Sam in Erie, Pennsylvania. I feel like I need my own website to stand out online. What's the best company to use, and what features should I focus on? All right, Sam, I'm going to level with you. If your brokerage supplies you with a website, that's probably sufficient. Most agents will run out and they'll spend sometimes a little, sometimes thousands of dollars on a website. I had an agent that signed up for a website development thing. It was like $2,000 or $3,000 up front, and then $100 something a month. And they promised her 20 to 40 unique visitors a month. And I about choked. So I oversee everything, but I especially oversee our internet marketing. So I have a digital marketer or digital marketing manager that I work with, and we look at all of our SEO and we look at all of our web traffic. On a brokerage level, we're getting 10,000 plus and visitors a month or whatever just to our brokerage website. And I can tell you how many leads that turns into. So 20 to 40 visitors is like, I don't know, less than probably a tenth of a lead a month. It's ridiculous. So the problem is that you're in competition with so many other companies, Zillow, Redfin, the brands like Coldwell Banker, which happens to be the number one branded website. Not that I'm, biased or anything. Realtor.com. You may have heard of some of these places. They're spending millions of dollars to drive traffic. I don't know what you're going to do that's going to be able to compete with them. And then there's the whole like, well, but I have, if I type my name, I come up on the first page of Google. Yeah, because there's not too many Dolores McGillicuddy realtor in Jackson Hole, Wyoming that Google's going to find. But if you're searching for homes for sale in Jackson Hole, Dolores McGillicuddy is probably not at the top of the list. They're going to see Realtor, Zillow, whatever. So if you have zero website presence, yeah, I suppose a site is important to have, but you could probably accomplish the same thing with a Facebook page. Because what is a website other than having an IDX feed, which you can actually get companies that will hook you up with an IDX feed on your Facebook page now, I believe. Other than information about you and searching for a home, what's there really to gain from a website? And I have news for you, though. Consumers don't care about you personally. They're not there to learn. They're not there to read your life story. If your bio is more than like 2 or 3 sentences, you have lost them. They don't care. They wanted to make sure you're not a psychopath, and then they just want to look for a house, or they want to find someone to help them sell, whatever. So look for other options other than a website. See if you can do the same thing with a Facebook business page, and I guarantee you'll come off a lot cheaper, and you'll have more creative control over it, and you'll be able to tie all of your content strategy to one location. That's my suggestion for now. I may have future opinions about this, but that's where I stand right now. Next question is from Sonia in Atlanta, Georgia. Hot Atlanta. I'm sure people from Atlanta hate when I say that, but whatever. I just got into real estate in March. Well, welcome to the business. What should I be doing to make money? I was thinking about buying Zillow leads because I see so many agents in my office closing them, but I don't really have a lot of money to spend at the moment. Well, Sonia, welcome again to real estate. You need to be working your sphere. If you're new to the business, you have a whole crop of people that you should be going after. Unless you're absolutely brand new to the area and you have no sphere, start with your friends, family. In fact, I'll give you Frank. I've talked about Frank before in my hidden gems. Frank is friends, relatives, associates, neighbors, and kids. So that is where you need to start. If you have children, reach out to their friends' parents. Let them know that you're in real estate. If you go to church, let your church people know, whatever. You have to get out there and tell people that you're in the business. Zillow leads are very expensive. And the capture rate or the conversion rate is relatively low. So people think, oh, I'm buying, 30 Zillow leads a month. And that's a lot of money. I mean, that's a lot. Zillow leads are, I've seen them upwards of $200 a lead. Their the absolutely best conversion rate's about 6%. So let's be super, super nice. Let's just be really conservative, actually, and say it's a 1% conversion because you're brand new. You have no clue what you're doing. No offense. So let's say you can convert 1 out of 100 because that's a 1% conversion. It's going to take you 3+ months to get enough leads at 30 a month just to possibly convert 1. And let's say you're on the low end of the Zillow spectrum and you're spending $100 a lead. You do the math. That is a lot of people. Now, those are crazy simplified numbers, but if you want to spend almost $10,000 for one sale, be my guest. Now, you'll probably do better than a 1% conversion, but that is the average. The national average of conversion rate is about 1.5, or about 1 to 2%. So don't kid yourself and think that you're going to have double-digit lead conversion, and don't fall for it if someone tells you you will. So get out there and build your sphere. All right, quickly, we have time for one more question. This comes from Tommy in Boulder, Colorado. Someone told me I should start a blog to build my brand, but I'm not sure what kind of time I can devote to it. Are blogs really effective in real estate? As a publisher, I have a blog, and it is a fairly robust blog now. It is a multi-author, multi-subject topic blog, whatever. Home Talk Online, you've probably heard of it, or at least seen the links for it. It's a pain. It's a lot of work. And even when I had a singular blog back in the day when I first started Meet More, Make More, that was my blog that turned into my first book. I did one a week, one blog post a week. And it probably took me a couple of hours. Starting a blog is super easy. Like anybody can start a blog. Maintaining a blog is so much harder. Your SEO value is so low unless you really know what you're doing. I mean, Home Talk, even now after a year in existence, I'm just getting a little bit of traction. So, I don't really think an individual blog is probably the way to go unless you have something super unique to talk about. If you're in a very unique market, or if you have a niche that is really super cool, that's one thing. But if you're just, I sell, like you're in Boulder, Colorado, could be cool, whatever. Maybe you're an outdoorsy type. Maybe you hunt, maybe you fish, water sports. I don't know what you do. But unless you've got something really, really cool to talk about, you probably don't have a lot of interesting things to say on a blog. And that's not to sound mean, but blogs are they're fickle. People reading blogs are very fickle. I probably wouldn't bother. I would probably maybe try to come up with a better content strategy for social media and not worry about creating the content yourself. There's plenty of other content you can buy or syndicate. So maybe you want to have a specific topic. Why don't you syndicate from other sources and aggregate it all together and be like the go-to for home improvement topics and maybe push that out through your social media. You can get what's called an RSS feed where the other blogs can feed into yours. So maybe that would be simpler for you. But even then, you still have to do a ton of marketing to get them off the ground. So I probably wouldn't suggest it right now. That's just my 2 cents. So that's all the questions we have time for. This was a little bit longer than I was expecting, but this is super fun. So remember, if you want to be a part of the burning questions every month, email me info@cmvbooks.com or click the link in the episode notes and just leave me a voice message, and I will be thrilled to listen to your question and hopefully give you a great answer. Until next time, get out there and make amazing choices. Hey, one more thing before you go. I just wanted to tell you really quickly about an amazing service that I think you'll love. If you're in real estate and you are tired of trying to figure out social media content, I have got the thing for you. I helped a friend of mine develop a company called Gnome Marketing Group, and they offer Facebook page management for an incredibly low price. So basically, how it works is you sign up, you make them an editor on your business page, and they will post 12 different posts per week. So it's 2 per weekday, 1 on the weekend each day for you. You don't have to do anything. They have hashtags and everything. It's really great. And it's incredibly cheap. If you go to knowthegnome.com/coupon, you can sign up with my coupon code Steven45 and get it for $45 a month. That's incredibly cheap for someone to do all your social media posting for you on your business page. Again, that's knowthegnome, knowthegnome.com/coupon and use my coupon code Steven45, STEPHEN 45, $45 a month. It's $30 off. It's an incredible price. I hope you take advantage of it. It's an amazing service. Have a great one.